Hello again, thanks for joining. It's time for a new Model Railway news update to keep you up to date with some interesting new announcements from these manufacturers. And we've got some new models to show you across a number of different scales. I'm just going to flash up this notification before I get started, short and sweet, and then we can get into it. Right, let's go. We're beginning this news update with some info about Oxford Rail, who are in the news once more. This is the 00 scale's Great Western Railway Totem A bogie flat wagon that they announced recently and showed us these computer renderings. Well, now we've been shown this 3D print prototype. Obviously this is an early sample which lacks a lot of details promised to be present on the final release, but it does give you an indication as to how these will look, and I think it's looking good so far. Something a bit different from the usual 7-plank open wagons, that's for sure. I'll update more on this as the project progresses, but this one photo is all we have at the moment. But while we're talking about Oxford, they have said that the LNER Class J26 loco is now in production after having had some refinements, including an upgraded DCC sound setup courtesy of ESU. They are due to arrive into retailers' hands during Q2 2025, and it's likely to be popular, so you can pre-order now if you want to secure your one. Prices are set an RRP of £129.95 for DC and £100 more for DCC sound. Another company that teased us with a 3D printed prototype is Rapido, and this time it's the much anticipated Caledonian single locomotive number 123. Again, one single photo of a 3D printed resin model, but this shows how great this looks already, and that's in no part due to the real loco, which is a really lovely looking thing. This is bound to be another big hit for Rapido, and I'll keep you updated as this progresses. On to Piko now, and we've got some photos of actual models. These are items which were announced at the start of 2025, but we were only given photos of the real machines. But here we have some photos of the models, starting with this, the BR440 in N scale. It's a great looking model in a very good looking livery, and as normal comes with the usual Piko features like directional lights, although it only has an 8-pin Plux 12 DCC socket. What's really of note here is the price, with it coming in around $240 here in the UK for DC, and that's for a 4-car set, which I think is not a bad price at all. In HO scale we also have a photo of this model, the Desero 2-car EMU from the CD in bright green from Era 6. Same feature set, but this is a bit more expensive at £260 and it's only a 2-car set. Still, looks good. And we also got to see a model of the Danish version, which I think looks really cool. And aside from the colour, this is basically the same model and at the same price as the CD version. More coming soon. Accurascale, again, what a surprise. This time we have some interesting images of their next tank engine model going through production in China. This is the J67, 68, 69 so-called Buckjumper 060. These photos show how they're nearing completion now, and it won't be long till we get some production sample photos, which I'll show you on this channel when they come along. They're still on track for delivery in Q2 this year, so it won't be long before you can get your hands on these. Looks to be another great looking tank engine to add to the Accurascale range. There's been some new releases from Minitrix in N scale, and we're starting off here with a new electric locomotive in their so-called My Hobby range. A more kind of budget range, kinda. This is the BR120 in the SEL cream and maroon livery as number 1441. It's in DCC sound only specification with MFX interface and has LED directional lights and a motor with flywheel. This is priced around $220, but remember, this is a digital model with sound. Next is a triple pack of DB coaches. Here you get a split first and second coach and 2 second class coaches, all with different running numbers. Priced in the UK around $130 the set. Next we have another triple pack, but this time from Luxembourg. It's the CFL Type RNSS bogie stake wagon set in Era 6 configuration. Price here is around £120. And finally, all on its own, it's this bogie tank wagon from the DR. This has subtle weathering from the factory which looks pretty good, plus an impressive amount of printed details on it, priced around £33. Hornby has also been shown off some decorated sample photos, and this time it's the upcoming newly tooled range of GNR Class J13 or later LNER Class J52 060 tank engines in 00 gauge. Hornby originally produced a model of this loco back in 1981, so it's about time it was updated. And here we have some photos of all 3 liveries being offered this year. All of these have been upgraded with a 21-pin decoder socket and sound options. Other features here include a 5-pole skew-wound motor with flywheel, all-wheel drive and pickups, and metal sprung buffers too. Certainly looks pretty good so far from these photos, and a good update of the older model it seems. These are all coming in at the same RRP of $174.99, and delivery is due sometime either Q3 or Q4 this year, so it's a bit open at the moment, but when a firmer delivery date is announced I'll update here. Viking have released some new model vehicles in HO scale, starting with this, the American Chevrolet K5 Blazer. This is from 1975 to 76, and it's a nice looking vehicle model in this two-tone with some nice details. Around £20 for this. Another two-tone, although I'm not sure it's actually meant to be, it's the Mercedes-Benz 260e from 1984 to 93 and priced around £14. I love this Opel Manta. It's the 75 to 88 GTE, and here in silver metallic for around £20. And finally for the cars, it's the good old 2CV in this olive grey colour, which is so typical of this car, priced here at around £14. The first commercial model is this Henschel skip lorry, which looks really cool. Lovely retro looks for around £22. Next it's a two-part Boozing 8000 truck with chemical tank trailer in red. Price has gone up and it's around £30 here. Another two-part truck is this 63 to 71 Magirus 235D flatbed in pebble grey with the red accents. Price is now around £25. Now I love this, an iconic look to this Magirus truck, and this one a hamburger special at around £20. And for the final truck we're back to Henschel, this time with a timber load and priced around £30. We also have some farm vehicles too, with the first being the classic green and yellow of the John Deere 7280R tractor, and here at around £19. Here's a trailer for a tractor, but it's not the last one because we're now at 1/32 scale for this. The price here is now £80 for the Cramp Big Boy 650. Expensive. But if you thought that was expensive, check the price of this Fendt 726 Vario tractor. Remember, this is a static model, although it does have a lot of detailed parts added. To be fair, it does have working suspension too, and it does look great, but wow, what a price. And we're back to HO scale for this final model, the Buzzing Tram Bus in blue and light cream, which is a nice looking vehicle for around £23. And that wraps up this news update, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm sure there'll be more coming soon, so subscribe to keep yourself up to date, and I'll see you on the next one.